Hey guys, James MC Reviews here, and it's Oscar season! Yes, as the world as we know it continues to spiral out of control into chaos, let's all pretend that award shows still actually mean anything, and celebrate the 10 movies from last year that are currently in the running to receive the coveted title of Best Picture. Now, in my past Oscar Ketchup reviews, they've gone on a little long because I end up just going into detail about every single movie and talking about the things I liked and didn't like, but because I have so little time to actually do this video and I'm behind on so many things, I've decided to adopt my quick review style that I've been doing for some of my other videos, and I've just done I've written up some quick reviews for each of the movies on my phone here, and I'm just going to read off of them one by one and give you my quick, honest thoughts on all the Best Picture nominees. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Belfast is Kenneth Branagh's semi-autobiographical drama about a young boy and his family dealing with the sectarian conflict in the late 1960s. It's a very charming, very well made, but ultimately forgettable movie. When I first saw it, I remember it being solid. The performances from Jamie Dornan and Ciarán Hinds were really good. Even the kid did a great job, and this was his first major role. The film was visually well shot and well directed, and the drama felt genuine, but honestly, there was nothing much about the movie that stuck with me beyond that. It was a movie that I liked watching, but after this year's award show, will probably never think about again. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. Don't Look Up is Adam McKay's latest dark comedy about what happens when an impending world crisis becomes politicized and the dangers of putting our complete trust in our world leaders when all they clearly care about are their own means and self-image. And it is just as depressing as it sounds. Despite its grim subject matter, I actually did like this movie. I thought the actors all did great, the editing is very fast-paced in service to the humor, but knows when to slow down and let the dramatic moments settle in. The satire in this movie is as subtle as a giant neon sign, and that can be kind of frustrating in a hey, look how profound we're being sort of way. But I feel like given the current state of the world, we kind of have to be obvious when talking about these things. Overall, it was a good movie, even if it did hit a bit too close to home. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Drive My Car comes from Japanese director Ryusuke Hamaguchi, and it is the best film out of this lot. It utilizes the slow burn very effectively. It doesn't even play the opening credits until about 25 minutes into the movie. The dialogue is so smartly written, and getting to live through these characters and see their turmoil is both engaging and kind of heartbreaking. In fact, I'm not sure if it was because I saw it so late at night and was tired, or because I was genuinely so moved by the story and characters, but I was in tears by the end of this movie. It's visually well put together, the acting is very well done. I'd highly recommend this movie, and I do feel like this is the one movie that deserves to win Best Picture. And if I had to rate it, I'd give it an easy 5 out of 5. Dune is a movie that I've already reviewed, so I'll leave a link to that short review in the card. It's cool to see it nominated, but I don't think it'll go anywhere beyond the technical awards. But it is a good sign that the Academy are taking big budget blockbusters and genre films into consideration when picking nominees. You've probably already seen the movie by now, but if you haven't, I believe it's back on HBO Max, so go check it out. Licorice Pizza is the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and out of all of these, it feels the most out of place. Not that it was bad, in fact, I found it just kind of meh. It's weird that the central story is so focused on this 15-year-old kid pining after a 25-year-old woman, and it's even weirder that by the end they end up together. But the chemistry between the actors is good enough that you kind of forget about it. It does feel like a very charming slice-of-life type story about kids just doing stupid shit and getting into trouble, but the characters didn't necessarily grab me in any meaningful way. Like, they weren't god-awful, they were just fine. Everything about the movie was just fine, but nothing Oscar-worthy. Maybe the Academy saw something that I didn't. I mean, after all, they are the best judge for what makes a quality film. But yeah, the movie was fine, check it out if you want, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. West Side Story is Steven Spielberg's retelling of the classic musical, and it was fine. My friend Caitlin, who you may remember from the Cats review, saw it with me, and we both thought it was pretty solid.
Honestly, usually I rip apart movie musicals. The only...
Honestly, I kind of wish you were there for Dear Evan Hansen.
I have not seen Dear Evan Hansen, and I am
You don't need to.
I'm scared to.
Yeah. But that would have been a fun video if you
Maybe one, yeah.
I know the movies come under fire recently because of Ansel Elgort, but the cast all did a decent job. The production design and the cinematography were all great, the songs were nicely done. It's a very decently put together movie. The fact that it's nominated is kind of weird in itself, considering all the controversy, but I'm imagining the Academy is hoping that people pay attention to the artsy Spielberg side of the film rather than the creepy dude in the center of it. Anyway, the film's on Disney Plus now, so if you want to give the other talents involved support, go watch it. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. Nightmare Alley is Guillermo del Toro's newest noir drama based on the book of the same name and the 1947 film. And even though Drive My Car is objectively the best out of all the nominees, this film is my personal favorite. It does take a bit to get going, but once it does, it sucks you in. The set design is fantastic. That carnival is teething with atmosphere and color and mystique. The characters are all so intriguing. You want to know more about each one, but you also want to proceed with caution because each one feels like they're harboring a darker side. And seeing some of those darker sides get brought out through desperation or greed or a mix of both is absolutely riveting. The acting is fantastic, the cinematography is very well done. It's just a great movie. Even though Drive My Car is the deserved winner, I'm still championing for this movie to win. It really is that good. Check it out if you haven't already, and I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Power of the Dog is the new Netflix movie from director Jane Campion, and it was kinda bad. Like, it wasn't poorly made, it just had a lot of weird things to it that weren't for me. The editing is weird, the music is kind of all over the place, and not in a good way. The pacing is too slow in some areas, but too quick in others, and I'm sure these were things that were done intentionally, but I just wasn't invested enough to see them for anything other than weird. The performances are fine, the cinematography is fine, but I probably wouldn't have finished it if I wasn't doing this video. 2.5 out of 5, watch it if you want. And finally, King Richard and CODA are movies that I'm not reviewing because they aren't playing in theaters and I couldn't be asked to pay to stream them, but I'm just gonna assume they're the best movies ever made in history and the universe, and they deserve all the awards, and I'd rate them a who cares out of 5. And that does it for another exciting year of, hey, look at all these movies that could get a gold naked man. What do you think of the nominees? Who do you think is gonna win? Who do you want to win? Like I said, I'm really hoping that Nightmare Alley wins, but in my heart, I know that Drive My Car is the deserved winner, and rightfully so. It is a fantastic movie. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm not going to be covering the actual show or any of the winners, so don't ask me. I've got a TV log of Peacemaker coming out very soon, as well as some other videos. I'd like to do some more bucket lists, but until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you later.